Welcome, everybody, to This Is a Shoot. Today, we're going to be talking about something that's going to be controversial. I believe it's going to be controversial. And what I mean by that is I don't think it's going to make people so much angry as we're going to be sparking a debate. The Young Bucks, are they the best tag team in the world? Or are they one of the worst things that happen to professional wrestling and as far as tag team wrestling goes? And I'm going to be honest with you. That may be extreme words, but as always, if you like if you like the content, like the video, hit that subscribe button. And most importantly, on this video, I want to hear from both sides. People that love the Young Bucks, and why do you love the Young Bucks? And from the people who are probably like on my side of the fence, well, I don't care for the Young Bucks, and what reasons why you don't care for them. Now, I want to make something very perfectly clear to everybody. I am not downgrading what they can do in the ring. As far as an entertainment standpoint, they are a very entertaining tag team. From a skilled standpoint, they are both individually skilled. Nick and Matt Jackson both are highly skilled individuals. They are now on AEW, the AEW reigning tag team champions. And before we go much further, when I first came on, when AEW first started, I was very interested in seeing who the Young Bucks were, what they could do, why did people want to become the WWE, etc. and etc. And I gotta be honest with you, the more I watched them, the more I was like, this is the tag team that everybody wanted to come to WWE. This is the tag team that many feels the best tag team in the world. I'm sorry. I didn't see it. I didn't get it. But I was willing to give it time. And I understand that they do have this arrogant persona, and I can see it. And this isn't me hating on them because they're a heel tag team now. This is even when they was baby faces. Every major storyline it seemed like every major storyline they had to be involved in some shape or form, whether they was helping out the babyface in the situation or what. Every significant storyline had to be them. Yes, I know they put over Private Party when I think it was the very first episode of AEW Dynamite. They put over Private Party, and they have put over tag teams. But then there was a time when they faced the Butcher and the Blade, and the Butcher and the Blade hadn't won a significant tag team match or something that mattered, and the fans were getting behind the Butcher and the Blade at this time, and the Young Bucks put themselves over instead of putting the Butcher and the Blade over in a storyline where it would have made more sense and would have helped for the Butcher and the Blade to win that match than it was to lose that match, because all that momentum they had was lost at that point. And where do you see them now? You hardly ever see the Butcher and the Blade get used. Now, another thing that drives me up the wall, like I said, I want to hear from everybody. And as always, hit that like and subscribe button if you like the content. But I want to hear from everybody, because I'm not saying that if you like the Young Bucks, you're wrong, because you're not. The thing about wrestling is, everyone has certain things they like. Everyone has certain things they don't like. The whole purpose of the video is to get a conversation started to maybe you can help myself and others understand why the Young Bucks are so good, but maybe you can but it's just about getting the conversation started of what everybody thinks about the Young Bucks in the comment section. For me, I know I get to do this on the video, I'm 29 years old. Now you might be able to say, well, maybe you got that old school mentality or the WWE system mentality. Tag team wrestling has been the same across the board for years, for the most part. Some changes, but most part, tag team wrestling has always stayed the same. There has to be logic. There has to be a psychology there. Meaning, and there has to be rules. Rules are placed for a reason. A lot of the matches that the Young Bucks seem to put themselves in are normal tag team matches, but it might as well be a street fight or a tornado tag match because they don't follow the rules of tag team wrestling. This is even when they was a babyface. They want to get in. It seems like they're the type of team that they just want to get those spots in, and that's all that matters. We just want to get our spots in. Don't tell us what to do. Don't tell us how to make our match better. We're gonna do what we want to do, and you can tell that on screen. When I just watched them here at Double or Nothing against Moxley and Kingston, I'm pretty sure they spent more time, both of them, in the ring than outside the ring. And the thing is, they was teaming up on Moxley and Kingston Moxley was obeying the rules for the most part and staying outside the ring when they wasn't the legal guy. You can't do stuff like that from a psychology standpoint and from a rule standpoint. Now look, I know All Elite Wrestling, AEW, they're changing the game. And they're changing the way that wrestling is seen across the board. But if they want their tag team matches to be that way, then it needs to be that way across the board. When you have the Young Bucks going in there and having a tornado tag team match and a normal tag team match, type of rule stand base, and then you have Evil Uno and Stu Grayson from Dark Order, who, by the way, I feel is one of the best tag teams especially from a psychology standpoint, that's in AEW right now. You have them and let's say the Jurassic Express battling each other, and they're both following the rules where they're getting in and out the ring, and they're not staying in there a long period of time, and they're obeying the traditional rules of wrestling, of tag team wrestling. There's nothing wrong with what the Young Bucks are doing if it's that way across the board. But if it's not going to be that way across the board, then they need to learn to abide by that traditional tag team standpoint. This is not Japan style wrestling. This is American style wrestling. And they need to understand that. Sure, I know that they love the spots. It's a spot match. They have been able to get better at telling stories. They have gotten better at selling. You know, their style is a very fast-paced, non-sell style, which is another reason why I understand people like them. But for guys like me who appreciate selling, who want to see the baby faces sell, or the heels get their butts kicked and they're starting to sell back to the baby faces come back, that's the type of stuff that makes wrestling what it is to me. Sure, fast-paced spot matches, there's a place for them inside the wrestling ring. And there's nothing wrong with being a fan of that. So I want to make that very perfectly clear to everybody that is the case here. I'm not saying that if that's the type of match you like, then you don't know wrestling. Or you're not a true wrestling fan. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is the Young Bucks need to learn. And they are in control of the tag team booking, from my understanding, in All Elite Wrestling. If they want to have them style matches, that's fine. But either make it a tornado match, or make it a street fight, or do something that's going to make it more, it's more understanding. Instead of just doing it to do it and ignoring the ref and making the ref look foolish out there. You know, I got on Rick Knox at Double or Nothing in my last video. The man should have stepped in, but at the same time, is the referee really going to step up to the bosses and go, gee, I don't think we're going to do that. I'm not going to do that. We need to do this. Because then the Young Bucks can just simply go, okay, well, we don't need you here. Or however, you know, I don't want to say it's an egotistical trip, because, you know, you see the Elite in control right now with Kenny Omega being the belt collector. And Kenny Omega, this isn't about him, but I didn't care for him when he first came into the wrestling world of All Elite, into the American TV screen. But he's really learned how to adapt and really learned how to become someone I can watch, and I get excited to see him on TV. I'm hoping that the Young Bucks begin to do that and turn that page, but I don't think they're going to. Like I said, if their matches are going to be that chaotic, then all matches across the board need to be following the same rules, or lack thereof. You know, it's at the point where Jim Ross is on TV and he is just letting them know He's just letting them know the referee ain't doing a very good job here. The referee's messing this up. The referee's messing that up. And when it gets to that point where the commentator, the head commentator, by the way, is saying things like that, then you need to look at yourself and look at what you're doing and go, how can we make this better for the fan base? Listen, the Young Bucks have their fans and the Young Bucks have their haters. I'm not saying I hate the Young Bucks, but I hate their style of matches. I'm not saying they're not talented, because they are very talented, but their psychology sucks. That's all I'm going to say on that. The psychology of the Young Bucks is horrible. Either that or they just flat out don't care, and they only want to do what they want to do. They only want to do what the Young Bucks want to do. Who cares about everything else? Let us do whatever we want to do. Maybe that's the case. Either way, let me know down in the comments below, what did you think of the video? What are your thoughts on the Young Bucks? Do you like them? Do you hate them? And the reasons why? And I'll see you guys later on the flippity flip.